Okay, so the difference between you and someone who has an opportunity is mostly information. So how about I tell you this information for free? So if you're a recent graduate or you're someone who is currently looking for a PPA, you need to know that there are some skills that is inevitable. There are some skills that you need to have, and these are the kind of skills that recruiters are looking for on your CV when you're looking for a job, you're looking for a PPA or anything like that. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you about the high demand skills for recent graduates. For me, I was fortunate that before I joined the workforce, I had volunteered for a global organization. I had done an internship with the bank. So when I was going for my NYSC, I was able to demonstrate all these skills on my CV when I submitted to my PPA, and then I was accepted. So the first one that you cannot escape is you need to know how to use the Microsoft suite. So Microsoft suite consists of Microsoft Excel, PowerPoint, and Word. So regardless of what industry or what role that you're in, you are definitely at some point going to need one of these Microsoft suite tools, right? At some point in time. So what you need to do as a recent graduate or a student is you need to start learning how to use Excel. It's very, very, very important. Excel, Word, and PowerPoint. You need to learn. Go on YouTube, go and search how to use Excel for beginners. Search how to use PowerPoint for beginners, how to use Word for beginners, because you can't avoid it, because those are the tools that the workforce uses now. If it's not the Microsoft suite, it's going to be the Google suite, and it's basically the same thing, just that different providers. It just means that it's Microsoft and Google, but at the end of the day, it's the same function, right? So it's also Google Slides, I think Google Word and Google Sheets. Yes, those are the three things. It's the same equivalent with Microsoft Excel, PowerPoint, and Word. So you need to learn how to use these things. Very, very important. You don't need to have like this professional skill, because at the end of the day, people will understand when you apply to roles that okay, you are a recent graduate, so you may not necessarily be proficient in using these tools, but at least you have the basic knowledge on how to use these tools. That's the first one. The second one is research skills. Now that depends on your role, but what I found is that usually in an entry level role, or maybe you're doing your NYSC, you are usually required to do research. So they can ask you that, oh, help me research this and this on the internet. Best believe you need to know how to research, right? Because I think that's also one of the courses you must have done in your final year in university. When you're taking your project, you must have learned how to search for things on the internet. And usually it's not acceptable for you to come back and say, oh, you did not find anything. That's should only happen when you've exhausted all options entirely. There are times when maybe the information you need may not be verbatim on the internet, but you may be able to make inferences and make conclusions from the available information. So apart from research skills, the third thing you need to learn how to do is time management skills, right? So all these skills need to reflect on your CV at the time you're submitting it, because these are actually the skills that you would require on the job, regardless of the industry, the company, or the role. These are things that are generic. These are things that are standard that you need to have as someone in the workforce. So there are some people who maybe end up in industries where you're not required to work long hours, right? You just work the standard 8 hours per day and 40 hours per week. So even at that, you still need to learn how to manage your time effectively. You need to learn how to prioritize your tasks. So it could be an instance where maybe different people give you things to do, right? You need to be able to prioritize that, okay, which one has like the closest deadline. Those are the ones that you know that, okay, you need to go for first, and then you can then follow up with the ones that are not as urgent. But there are other industries where you need to work much longer hours, which means they're working on the weekend, they're working at night up until 11 p.m. Those ones are usually much more intense, and the work-life balance is usually non-existent. So if you're applying to places like professional services, that's the big four. We have KPMG, PwC, EY, Deloitte, or maybe Anderson, McKinsey, all of those consulting firms. Just know time management skills is very, very, very important. Whether you're coming in as an entry-level staff, or maybe you're submitting your CV to be recruited as an intern, you need to be able to demonstrate that you have the ability to manage your time effectively, because this is like one of the most important skills that you need as a consultant. There are other industries as well whereby the work hours are just as intense as those who are working in professional services. So be able to highlight and demonstrate on your CV that you know how to manage your time well. The fourth and the last skill that I have on my list is professionalism. Okay, so now for this one, I remember that recently there was someone who sent an email to a colleague of mine, and she just put I think PFA or something. I can't remember what she put here. There are instances where PFA, which is please find attached, are acceptable. Maybe you're sending to someone on your level, or you ask to just quickly send something. It's okay for you to say PFA. But instances where maybe you are sending something to someone to review and just different things like that is not acceptable. You have to like put a body in your email. Don't just find an acronym and put it there. You need to be able to learn email etiquette. I remember when I did my first job, I think my first internship in 2021, that was when I learned how to send emails, because I believe I did a training at the time on how to send emails. I can't really recall now, but I believe I did a training then, so I never made that mistake of actually sending emails that are not properly written. Now what you need to do is learn how to, it's not that deep, it's not that serious, to be honest, but there are preferences and there are some things that you don't do in certain instances or certain workplaces, right? So what you need to do is very simple. Some people say, oh, dear reader, some people say hello reader is okay, some people say hi reader is okay, depending on the relationship dynamic. I don't know, different workplaces, different rules, right? So you can say, okay, dear reader or hello reader, please kindly say attached, or just full sentences. Use your proper punctuations at the end. Say, okay, kind regards, warm regards, or regards, comma, reader, full stop. Just learn it. Go online. It's not that deep, to be honest, but just go online how to send emails. I can remember when there was a time I was applying to an HR firm, I think in 2021 as well. Oh my god, this is a story that I need to tell, because I remember then where I was coming from. I was working at a bank, Sterling Bank at the time, and at Sterling Bank we go on first name basis. So no matter the level you are, even our CEO, we use first names. So I'll call my CEO Abu, I'll call my boss Rhoda. There's no ma, there's no sir. That was just the culture at Sterling Bank when I was doing my internship. I was already conditioned to think that way. So I was then applying to an HR firm after that internship. So because I was used to just hi Rhoda in my email, hello Rhoda, please kindly say attached, that was the culture I was used to. And I went with that same mindset to send an email to, I think, a recruiter at that HR firm, and I was like, okay, hello Jane. By the time she responded, she sent me one very nasty email. She was like, oh, we are not mates. How would I be calling her by her first name that's supposed to say hello ma? You won't believe she did not give me that opportunity just because I didn't use ma. And to be honest, I was not even trying to be rude or disrespectful. It was just, I was used to going on a first name basis, right? And that was why I used her first name in my email that I sent to her, and then she took offense and I didn't get the opportunity just because of that. So you need to learn how to be professional. So it's better for you to just say the I ma or sir. Then they can then correct you and say that, okay, I'd rather you go by my first name, and some will not correct you because they'd rather you say I ma or sir. In summary, those are the 4 skills that I think are high demand for someone who is currently looking for a job, you're a recent graduate, or you're looking for a PPA. So just to reiterate, the first one is you need to learn how to use either Microsoft Suite or Google Suite. The second one is you need to learn how to research. Very important, but this depends on your role. There are some roles that you would not necessarily be required to do this. The third one is time management skills. The fourth one is you need to learn how to be professional and say hi ma, hi sir. That's just it, right? So that has brought us to the end of today's video. Do not forget to smash that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up.